The starting lineup for the visiting Utah Jazz. At small forward, Cody Williams. At point guard, Keontae George. At center, Walker Kessler. At the other guard position, Colin Sexton. At the other forward position, Lowry Markkinen. The head coach of the visiting team is Will Hardy. Starting at small forward, at 6'6", number 12, Torian Prince. Starting at shooting guard, standing 6'5", number 5, Gary Trent Jr. The man in the middle, 7 feet tall, number 11, Lopez. Starting at the other guard, standing 6'2", number 0, Damian Lillard. Head forward, 6'11", number 34. The Green Freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Welcome, everyone. Thanks for tuning into 2K Sports. We've got some NBA action for you coming up. Along with Greg Anthony and Brent Barry and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Got one more great treat for you, folks. Joining us on our broadcast is Shams Charania. I'm so great to have you with us. Thanks for taking the time to take a seat and join us here courtside.
Star-studded group, the pleasure is all mine. I appreciate you guys so very much for having me aboard.
Look at the smile on Brent Barry's face. He is thrilled to have you here courtside with us.
Absolutely. Super excited about it.
You know, Shams, back in 2023, Giannis Antetokounmpo agreed to a 3-year extension to stay in Milwaukee. It keeps him with the Bucks until, what, 2027, I think.
Exactly, and it provides the Bucks with stability moving forward. And there was talk, if Giannis Antetokounmpo tests free agency in the summer of 2025, what does that hold for their future? But he commits. He made a strong statement in committing. But at the end of the day, Kevin, getting to the finals and winning another championship is the goal.
And they thought, Shams, that Dame was going to be maybe that thing that triggered that, but it certainly didn't play out that way.
Jrue Holiday gets traded, and they clearly missed him. But with Damian Lillard and Giannis, you know you have a chance to at least compete for a championship.
And checking out Utah's opening lineup, the guard pair. It's George and Sexton. Lowry Markkinen is out there with Williams. And it's Kessler in at the center. And for Milwaukee, the post pair, the longtime duo of Antetokounmpo and Lopez. The guard and off guard are Lillard and Trent. And it's Prince in at the small forward position. All right, looking at the Utah Jazz, Shams, what'd you think about trading All-Stars Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell back in 2022?
It's really rare for an NBA team to trade 2 All-Stars in one offseason, especially a team that was competing to go deep in the playoffs year after year after year. But they really believe, Kevin, that they got maximum value for both Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell. They're flush with draft picks. They've got young talent, young assets, and cap space moving forward. I really like and have confidence in their future.
Well, we know Gobert's made a difference with Minnesota. Mitchell seems to be making a difference with Cleveland. So you love the trades that work on all sides, don't you?
And Kevin, one thing you know about the front office in Utah is they're going to be completely aggressive moving forward to bring talent into Utah.
Well said. Here's Lillard, and he wills that one in, sinking right through off the back iron.
There is this old school feel about Dame's game. Even though he utilizes the three, he'll get to the mid-range and bury those.
Well, we can all agree nothing better than the atmosphere of an NBA game. So, Shams, I know it's hard to pick one, but is there a best crowd, a best atmosphere in the NBA that you've come across that you really appreciate?
The Warriors fans, I feel, even at their peak, they bring a different level of aura, of enthusiasm. Kevin, you've been to more arenas than I have, and more celebrated time as well at different points. What's your favorite? What's your best NBA event?
When that New York crowd is popping, that arena is second to none, man. It is sizzling. Like you, I love knowledgeable fans, right? They know the calls, they know the officials, they know the strategies, they know what a player can and cannot do. That, to me, is the best part about going in some of these arenas and feeling that the players, have made it to a point where the fans know exactly what they can and cannot do. Knowledgeable fans.
I'll take your word for it, but that just means I have to get out to a Knicks game ASAP.
The Bucks shooting their first shots from the free throw line tonight. The first free throw is good. And the league continuing, Shams, to tweak the rules around replay review. But would you set a time limit to maybe tweak it a little bit?
Have to, right? Especially some of these games and the way they're ending. It's something to try if you can't find a cause to really overturn in a minute or two. Let's keep this game moving. I think we all love a free-flowing game.
I agree. A moment now to hear from our sideline reporter, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. David.
Hey, Kevin, I was able to talk with Doc Rivers a few minutes ago. He talked about the challenges that come with playing against Lauri Markkanen. Coach said you have to know where Lauri is at all times because he's so effective playing off the ball. He's a knockdown shooter and a smart cutter, and he moves extremely well for his size. This team's got a lot of respect for the mobile 7-footer. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, David. And the Bucks with possession here after the basket by Utah. Lillard against George. Got a screen on George. Trains it from beyond the arc. Lillard's got 5 now.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
Both teams will make substitutions. With a pause in the action, let's show you the teams that were best from the line last season. The Jazz, #1.
You know, they made that a point of emphasis a season ago. I mean, they spent a lot of time in practice drilling their free throws, and I think it really paid off with the best percentage in the league.
Now, here's Sexton. To the inside. Eubanks. And there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
And that's the kind of lead pass we've come to expect from him.
Lillard against Sexton. Portis a screen on Sexton. Sexton against Lillard. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. Lillard's got his 3rd basket of the night. Jazz trail by 6. Lobbed up there for Collins. And stolen by Lillard. Wright looking around. Outside Jackson. Here's Livingston, and the last-second attempt doesn't fall. And so the first quarter is in the books. Milwaukee on top, leading by 6. And we'll get going after this from Milwaukee. And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter of action so far. And look what we've seen from Milwaukee. What do you think, guys?
Well, they've been aggressive from the beginning, particularly on the offensive end.
Well, if they wanted to start well, this would be it. They seized momentum right away, and they just didn't let it go in that quarter.
So it's the Jazz now. 6-point game. All right, Shams, I know you can't reveal all your secrets, but how do you develop relationships with your sources, the players, the agents, the GMs, the scouts all over the NBA?
It comes year after year. This has been something I've been doing for the better course of the last 15 years. So for me, it's about relationships, it's about daily communication, and making sure that I keep the trust, I keep the faith, and I keep a level of respect with everyone that I come across. Relationships are the name of the game, especially in the NBA.
Well, that's what I've heard about you. They trust you. So if they're going to confide, they know they can trust you. I would think that would be maybe the core of how you operate.
Trust and faith, and that develops early, not taking shortcuts. I'm very much for the long game.
Outstanding. Antetokounmpo and Portis man the post positions. White is out there with Green, and it's Jackson in at the 3. So that's who Milwaukee starts the second with. Here's Preston, following the basket by Giannis. A shot by Clarkson, no good.
And I was sure that was money on that one, but everyone is afforded an easy miss or two.
Yeah, that happens. Important thing is for players, just don't beat yourself up and make a miss like that cost you another play.
Shams, you've been around the NBA for a long time now. Which players do you enjoy watching the most?
Greatness, especially the guys that are regarded among the greatest of all time, like LeBron James, like Stephen Curry, like Kevin Durant. You have to throw those in there. But this is a new era, a new crop. The Jason Tatums, Jalen Browns, Nikola Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Have to throw Luka Doncic in there. You have Donovan Mitchell, you have Paolo Banchero, you have Tyrese Halliburton, you have Joel Embiid, you have Tyrese Maxey, Jimmy Butler, you have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Anthony Edwards, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Devin Booker, Zion Williamson, Anthony Davis, De'Aaron Fox, Victor Wembanyama. So let's not have anyone here left out.
All right, they're all fun to watch. And Will Hardy calls timeout here. He wants to talk to his guys. Substitution here for Milwaukee. Lopez, he's checked in for Portis. Taurean Prince comes in for Jackson. Trent's checked in for Green. And Lillard subbed in for DeLon Wright. Now, here's Collins. Last game he had 28 points. Outside, Markkanen. Another miss by Utah. Bucks leading by 5. Lillard outside. Good. And it's Giannis picking up the assist. Lillard's got 10 points in the game.
And Lillard can knock these things down in his sleep. He makes it look so easy.
And now the latest from our reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, thanks. It's important to remember Damian Lillard was a 2-star prospect coming out of high school in Oakland. He says that the doubt I faced, what I found is I have true belief in myself. I poured a lot in and just continued to work. That's why when I struggle, I never waver because I know that I'm true to it. Eventually, I'm going to have my time. Kevin?
I think they call that Dame time. Hey, David, thank you. Shams, it's been fun. And you know what? It's been too short. So you got to promise you're going to come back and give us some more inside information on the NBA. We have loved every second having you courtside with us tonight.
Sorry I was not able to break any big news on air this time, but you know what? My phone's ringing, so maybe next time.
Well, let me look at your phone. Wait a minute. Hold on. That is big news! Holy cow! Come back sooner than later, okay?
Thank you.
So great to have Shams stop by. You can see his passion for the game in every word he says.
You can't work as hard as Shams does without having a passion for the NBA. It's not easy to be that plugged in.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over.
And Sexton slams it in.
Sexton as a guard making that look so pretty.
Giannis against Collins. Here's Giannis. Giannis rips it down.
Whoa, that'll wake you up.
He is such a great athlete. Outside, George. Markkanen from outside. Oh, he got it to go.
Wow, what a way to finish up the quarter.
That's an incredible shot there. Just let it fly, take a chance, and somehow that one goes in.
And a close game so far through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Bucks lead by 2. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks very much, guys. Taurean, what's been the key so far?
ball movement, doing what we got to do defensively, competing, showing effort, and translating it to offense.
That mix has worked really well so far, man. Thanks. Back to you guys.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of action following halftime.
It is a wonderful night for basketball and a wonderful time to get a quick, wonderful rundown of how the wonderful West looks early on in this wonderful season. Is that too many wonderfuls?
No, you're wonderful.
You look at the Jazz, they're letting the losses stack up. It can dim your confidence and your playoff chances. They need to make some changes, maybe in their lineup, maybe shot selection, something.
Well, coming back to the game of the night, the Bucks find themselves in a close one.
Even before the game started, you could feel the energy in this arena, man. They fed off that. Big-time home court advantage here.
Some of the loudest fans in this league. It's like having a sixth man on the floor. And that's a halftime wrap. Let's get back to the second half with the call by Kevin Harlan and the crew.
And we've got second half action for you. Thus far, a pretty evenly contested game. We're seeing a tremendous game from Damian Lillard.
What a menace he was on defense through the first two quarters, just disrupting everything.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he wanted to do out there. Everyone he guarded looked uncomfortable.
Greg, every year, injuries are a huge factor in shaping the title race. And I'm guessing that teams should probably put more of a premium on durability. What do you think?
Well, Kevin, I think all GMs take that into account. A team wants to be confident it'll have a stable roster over the course of a long season.
And so in the game for the Jazz, the guard pair. It's George and Sexton. Walker Kessler is out there with Markkanen. And it's Williams at the 3 spot.
This is why you need to know where Trent Jr. is at all times. He can burn you from the corner.
And here's Sexton after Gary Trent Jr. made the last three-pointer. The shot by Sexton, no good. Bucks leading by 5. There's the lob at Kumbo, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Jazz will take it. And now a look at the upcoming schedule for the Utah Jazz. On Saturday, they'll be matching up with Chris Paul and the San Antonio Spurs. Then on Tuesday, they'll be matching up against Kevin Durant and the Phoenix Suns.
And if I'm this team, I'm looking at this as a barometer to see how we stack up against some of the top teams in the league. They'll have to be at their best, but if they come out of this with some success, I think it'll build momentum for the rest of the run.
Milwaukee's gone 4-6 from outside the arc tonight. Hey, Brent, Damian Lillard is as clutch as they come. He is fearless. Where do you think that comes from? Why is he so effective late in tight games?
Such a great question, Kevin, but for Damian Lillard, I think it boils down to one word, and that is confidence. I mean, he has legitimately the ultimate confidence in all the work that he puts in the offseason to be in these moments, to have the ball in his hands, and it's been proven time and time again that he can come through. It's why we see him tap his wrist and it being game time. Those are some of the most memorable moments of his career. Not been an easy start. 3 straight misses here on these possessions.
Giannis knifes his way inside.
And the advantage they have starting to increase. Things are coming together for them at a really opportune time.
Coaches always talk about the first 5 minutes of the third quarter. They have definitely increased their energy level here.
Williams finds George. Bounce pass from Williams. 5 on the clock. Sexton the pass to Markkanen. Offensive struggles continue, missing again. Here's Giannis. Antetokounmpo converts inside.
Yeah, that was the 3rd straight high percentage look the defense has allowed. The defenders have got to start putting bodies on bodies.
And now we've got some time to check in from the sidelines. You got for us, DA?
Hey, Kevin, the Bucks are still trying to perfect their chemistry. Bobby Portis says things take time. You've got to keep continuing to build it. There's another level Dame and Giannis can get to. Just making it clockwork. Them continuing to get better at it opens the floor for everyone else on the court. Kevin?
Well, David, with those two guys, Dame and Giannis, it opens the floor up a lot. Hey, thanks for the report. And the Bucks making a change here. Jackson's checked in. Utah also making some changes. John Collins, he's checked in for Lauri Markkanen. And it's Jordan Clarkson in for Keontae George. Well, Greg, it took 40 years, but the Bucks finally won their second NBA title back in 2021.
Yeah, and Kareem leading that 71 squad. Giannis was the man in 2021, averaging 35 and 13 during the finals, closing out the Suns with that 50-piece in Game 6.
He throw good. Clarkson. Well, Greg, over the last few seasons, one area of consistency for the Jazz has been their rebounding.
Yeah, and they have some size, and they make controlling the boards a focal point. When you're playing Utah, you better be ready to put a body on somebody.
Portis, he's checked in for the Bucks. Smith comes in for Antetokounmpo. DeLon Wright, he's checked in for the Bucks.
Number 55.
Jazz trail by 9. Outside, Sexton. Trying to break that ice-cold streak. He doesn't hit that one. Great D that time from Portis.
I'd love to see them impose themselves a little more on the backboard. That's a great way to find confidence. Always a surefire way to get back in the game.
Now, here's Portis. He has yet to score.
Portis not afraid from the mid-range. That's where he can do some work.
Third quarter action, and just under 3.5 minutes have gone. Eubanks up top. Pass to Sexton. And the layup's good off the glass. Sexton's got 9.
Closer Sexton gets to the basket, the more dangerous he can become, and the defense has got to recognize that.
Lillard against Sexton. Lillard outside. Here's the 3. Drills the three-pointer. Lillard's got the lead up to 12 now for the Bucks.
That's a high percentage look when the D doesn't fight over the screen.
Yeah, the coach over there just asking for one simple thing, and that's some effort. Got burned on that one.
And so it's Milwaukee up by a dozen here at the end of the quarter. They've got their field goal percentage to thank for that. They've been hot from all over the floor tonight. We'll return shortly. Here now a chance to show you our assist of the game, and it's presented as always by State Farm.
And how about the big fella here showing us he's got some point guard skill here with the tremendous setup.
The passing for the team becoming contagious, this time involving the big.
And there have been 2 very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. Antetokounmpo and Portis man the post positions. Green is out there with Wright. And it's Beauchamp in at the 3, the small forward. That's the group for Milwaukee right now. Now, here's Mills. Following the miss by Giannis Antetokounmpo. Eubanks finds Clarkson. And it's good off the back of the rim and in. Clarkson's got the 4th quarter going with the first basket of the period here for Utah. Collins against Antetokounmpo. Portis a screen on Collins. Here's Antetokounmpo, and contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. You know, you were talking about Giannis. He can put up 30 a game without taking many shots from the perimeter. That's a tall order these days, especially because he gets doubled every single time.
Take a break. Take a break.
2 shots.
And the first one drops. And Brent, last season, Giannis became the first player in NBA history to average over 30 points a game on over 60% shooting from the field. I mean, jaw-dropping numbers.
Yeah, incredible stuff, Kevin. And when you think about how much basketball has changed, the variety of shots, the great big men that have dominated the NBA floors for so long, for Giannis to be able to do that in this day and age with the three-point evolution and revolution that's happened, it speaks to just how dominant a player he is.
Giannis kicks to Lillard. Over George. And it's hauled in by Lauri Markkanen.
Oh, that mid-range, Jay, usually pretty much on the money. Maybe the timing just a little bit off on that one.
On the wing, Markkanen. Outside for Sexton. 5 to shoot. Vassalaris screen on Trent. Sexton. And the rejection by Antetokounmpo.
Anticipation and length makes Giannis a great shot blocker. You don't want to ever give up points on the boards. That's the lesson for the team there. That's a hustle play to save points.
Pass to Lopez. Antetokounmpo with the ball. Now defended by Markkanen. Stolen by Kessler. Here's Williams. The shot's good on the assist by George. Williams has got it back down to single digits for the Jazz. Milwaukee has gone 5 of 8 from three-point land. 15 points and a deep ball for them tonight. And Giannis gets it to go.
Great Jay from Antetokounmpo, really developing that part of his game.
And Will Hardy calls timeout here. And he wants to see some changes out there right away and right now. And while we've got a moment, let's send it over to our terrific reporter, David Aldridge. David?
Hey, guys, listening in with Will Hardy and his team. You know, he had some pros and cons. He said, I like our play inside. And what's happening at the arc, fellas? We got to start making some shots. Needs more production from the outside. Guys?
Thank you, David. Now, here's Markkanen. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. It goes on Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Well, Markkanen putting his size to use there. The defense has nothing to do but to foul.
So the first one drops, and that brings them within single digits.
Well, 7 feet, really good at shooting the basketball. A decent handle. Lauri Markkanen starts to tinker on that unicorn category.
And he cannot convert on the second. That misses.
Not a perfect trip to the free throw line, but they'll take what they can get at this point.
Antetokounmpo.
Giannis can shoulder any load. He's doing it here.
And so Markkanen will bring it up for Utah. They trail by 11. Vassalaris screen on Giannis. Shoots. The Jazz with another miss. The Bucks shooting 69%, showing you what a well-oiled offense looks like tonight. Back to Lillard. Takes the 3. At basket number 6 to his stat sheet. He's now 6 for 10.
And so only one team answered the bell tonight, guys. Not a monster blowout by any means, but still a double-digit victory for the Bucks.
They really lit it up in this one. Fantastic offensive performance.
Definitely just simply shot the ball well. One of those games to be proud of.
And so with this, they'll end up with their second win on the year.
And so they win their first game against this squad. It's a 2-game season series, and they'll be going for the sweep the next time they face off.
And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for Giannis Antetokounmpo.
It It was the kind of game for him that all scorers dream of, where the basket seemed as wide as a barrel.
Now Sexton. After the miss, 3 from Damian Lillard. About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. The shot's good. And so it's Milwaukee now. And they can just let the clock run out here.
Cannot argue with the W.
Trent against Sexton. So no problem for Milwaukee as they get the win. Some good competition, but the hometown advantage and their ability to stay focused, I think, made the difference.
Yeah, and the first step in becoming a good team is your ability to win at home. And they really seem to revel in that opportunity. And this is what they came out to do.
And we've got David Aldridge standing by on our sideline with the player of the game. David, it's all yours.
Thanks very much. Giannis, you have said in the past you have even more untapped potential. So how did you put your fingerprints on this game?
I'm just here to do whatever it takes to help my team win. Did a great job executing, moving the ball. And this is what we do. This is what we do. We play together, and whatever we do, hopefully we can get a win at the end of the day.
Well, it certainly turned into a win tonight, man. Thanks. Back to you guys.
Thank you, David. And that'll wrap it up, folks. So for David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, Brent Barry, and the whole 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for being with us. But first, let's reveal our player of the game, Giannis Antetokounmpo.